welcome back to the We Are City channel, where we kick off today's episode with a back-to-back header against Athletic Club de Bilbao, the side from Bilbao. We have drawn them in the Champions League preliminary knockout stages, so we didn't make it to the official round of 16 after our poor performances in the early stages competition. So first we have to face off in a knockout stage, two-legged affair against Athletic Club. This is going to be important. Manchester City failed at this stage last season. They were knocked out by Real Madrid heavily. The away game, however, is first. That means we take them back to the Etihad in the second leg. That suits Manchester City massively, I do believe, despite the strong side that Ernesto Valverde does put out here today. Let's see how both sides do line up. Well, there is the Athletic Club starting 11, captained by Yuri Berecice, former Paris Saint-Germain man. It is Unai Simon in goal. Berchiche at left back, Vivian and former City man Aymeric Laporte partners in the back line. They've got Sanka in there as a big problem causer, as is Inaki Williams and brother Nico Williams on the right-hand side. As for Manchester City, we go with Jo Kostringel, it's Van Ness and Diaz, Vardiel and Aït-Nouri the back four. Rodri Bernardo Silva part of the midfield two, with Ryan Cherki, Phil Foden, Jeremy Doku providing the attacking intent of the City side. The man up top, which is Erling Haaland. Foden. Cherki. Haaland, back to Cherki, touches by Cherki, down the box, referee, could fall to Foden still, who just can't pass it towards Haaland to take a shot. To Jeremy Doku, who's got space here, Doku, and he's quick, Jeremy Doku, and off goes Doku here. Doku onto Foden, and wide to Haaland, good touches. Haaland striking across the keeper, Simon. Should have gone near post, maybe. That wide towards the fullback now, Grosabal, and it's a challenge by Aït-Nouri. He's lost out, cross comes in, and Inaki Williams the chance here. A good save by Costa. Both goalkeepers have been called into action in the opening 20 minutes or so. Foden. Aït-Nouri. Cherki. Behind to Haaland here. Haaland is there! Good save by Simon. Inaki Williams outdoes Van der Sar, but easily taken down by Bernardo Silva. Cherki. Aït-Nouri. Brilliant. Haaland is waiting. Cleared away. Ryan Cherki bends one and past the post by Ryan Cherki. Why did he come short? Back to Aït-Nouri. Edge the box to Foden. Phil Foden off the crossbar. Back to Phil Foden. 1-0 Manchester City. That is spectacular from Phil Foden. What a finish. Deserved the first one to go in, but it come back to him. Off the crossbar. And he put it in the back of the net anyway. What a bit of play from Phil Foden here. Rodri back out towards Ryan Cherki. Phil Foden one touch here. What a goal that would have been. Look at that. He follows it in. He doesn't admire his shot, Phil Foden. Tries to tap him. Haaland offside. Oh, he's not. Cherki pings him behind here to Doku. What a ball. Doku. Jeremy Doku! He's scoring for fun in the Champions League. And he's done it again, Jeremy Doku, 2-0. In the Champions League, this man gets goals. And I think that is about 6 in the Champions League for Doku now. I think he scored quite a lot. I'd say at least 5 goals in the Champions League. I mean, this is brilliant for Ryan Cherki. Over the top to Doku. Could go to the far post to Haaland, but Doku says, no, I've got this. Bottom corner, 2-0. I think Manchester City are going to be pretty confident. We're going through against the Athletic Club in the second leg. Phil Foden into space. Foden. Oh, that's unbelievable for Phil Foden. And he looked to play into space to Haaland, who started running and stopped. But Haaland gets it anyway. Haaland is still battling. Haaland should hit this. Unai Simon gets there. Vardiel wide. Aït-Nouri, Doku. Marmoush. Haaland, foul Marmoush. Marmoush in again here. Omar Marmoush! Oh, he hits that like an absolute rocket to make it 3. Another one. Should have scored before that, Marmoush. Look at this little 1-2 Haaland. It's brilliant. The guy's a killer in front of goal. Doesn't mess around this time. Just puts his foot through it. Absolutely leathers it through the back of the net there, Omar Marmoush. He's fouled, but he plays on. And he cracks this. Whew. No chance for Simon. Savinho across the box. Oscar Bob puts it wide. Should have made it 4, but at half-time of the tie, Athletic Club 0, Manchester City 3. I think we've got to be pretty confident that we're going through to the latter stages of this competition now. And we're jumping straight into the second leg of this one at the start of the new year. Manchester City versus Athletic Club. The side from Bilbao, we've just gone away from home and battered by 3-0. It could have been more. Marmoush could have had more. Haaland certainly should have had more as well. And City really did dominate that one in the north of Spain. Bilbao come to Manchester City now knowing that this is a very difficult game for them. 3-0 down to a side like City is not easy to come back from. It is a return to the Etihad for Aymeric Laporte, which is really good to see. An absolutely top player and amazing. One of my favourite City players in his time at the club. Was brilliant at centre-back and probably one of the best in the ball we've ever seen at the club. And let's see how the two sides deal out today with Pep Guardiola knowing he's signing full control for an open aggregate with a rotated side, but still many of the big boys in there. Well, there are Manchester City ready to hopefully go to the knockout stages. We start with João Costa in goal. It's Nunez, KHUSANOV, Ake and Ait-Nouri, the back four. Dejani Reinders and Nico Nadal's midfield two. And then a front four, the Savinho, Cherki, Haaland and Omar Marmoush. As for Athletic Club, they do make changes. No Nico Williams in the start 11 is the surprise exclusion. Unai Simon starts in goal. Eluke, Laporte, Yere and Berechiche, the back four. Galareta in the midfield, sorry, with Benat Prados. Sanket in the middle, in front. They do have Gudaveta up top, and Inaki Williams starts on the right with Nico Serrano on the left. It's a brilliant ping out towards Savinho by the goalkeeper. Marmoush. Savinho. In behind to Marmoush here, brilliant from City. Marmoush across to Willing. Oh, let's start this one. Not a bad start by Manchester City here. 3-0 up an aggregate, and now we've made it 4. Captain today, Erling Haaland, found by Omar Marmoush, who makes it 4-0 Manchester City. Too easy. Play Savinho into Reinders, Marmoush to Savinho, back through to Savinho with a great pass by him through to Marmoush, and Erling Haaland's going to tap in. There, header Yede, couldn't catch him. City 4, Athletic Club 0 on aggregate, 1-0 tonight, and that is them surely out of this competition. Back onto Reinders. Over towards Ait-Nouri. Reinders keeps that run going here. Reinders. Marmoush. Marmoush! Oh, there you are for 2. What a finish by Marmoush. I tell you what, he started the season very slow, but he's becoming the goal machine we know he can be. Dejani Reinders involved heavily as well here. On to Marmoush. Little flick through. One touch there sets himself. What a finish by Omar Marmoush. 2-0 Manchester City. This side is rocking now. Rico Lewis. Oscar Bob is on. Bob. Good save by Nico. Or the goalkeeper, Unai Simon, sorry. But there you are. Lewis into Oscar Bob and off he goes, Bob. And he is a really high level talent, Oscar Bob. Just something about him. Nico Lewis wide to Oscar Bob. Nunez. Wide to Bob. To Nico, a little back heel. Marmoush takes it. Marmoush makes it 3. We're on fire at the moment. And that makes it 6-0 aggregate. Really good play. Oscar Bob at the heart of it again. What a ball this is through to Nico. Flicking the back heel to Marmoush. Takes it, sets himself on the right foot. Puts it in the bottom corner. No chance for Laporte. No chance for Yere. 3-0 Manchester City. We're going to make more changes here. I think we've got other players in the wide area. Just that pass inside. Rico Lewis makes a foul. They still play it forward here. City defence is deep here. Chance, and Costa does concede. 6-1 aggregate. They pull them back. Oyen Sanket with the goal. That's a frustrating one to concede. I don't really want to see it again. And here's Dejani Reinders off to a standing ovation here at the Etihad for Mateo Kovacic. Rico Lewis in towards Oscar Bob. Tries to roll it through. Doesn't quite make it. Nico is there again, who's a fantastic backup to Rodri. Rico Lewis. Fouled here. Full-time whistle goes. A 3-1 win for Manchester City. We are through to the knockout stages, and deservedly so. We trounced them 6-1 aggregate, 3-1 of the night. Athletic Club are out. City are through. Well, this is how the Premier League table is looking. We sit top of that table, 3 points clear of Arsenal and 5 points clear of third place Liverpool, around the halfway point of the season. A lot yet to play for. And we end today's episode with a game away from home to the Amex Stadium. We go to face 6th place Brighton Hove Albion. This is something we know with against Brighton today. James Trafford will start in goal. It's Van der Sen, Diaz, Joško Vardiol and reunite Nuri City's back four. Captain Rodri alongside Tajani Ryan's that midfield two with Omar Mamouche in front. It is Foden on the right, Doku on the left, and Erling Haaland through the middle. And as for Brighton, Fabian Hurtzler goes the 4-2-2. It is Barbara Bruggen in goal with Captain Veltman at the back with Boshagli, Webster, Andy Cowper. It is then Moda partnering Carlos Baleba in the midfield two with Solly March on the right, Mitoma on the left, and Danny Welbeck partnering Jorginho Rutter up top. They do have the likes of Castellas on the bench, Gruder, Minte, Milner, Matt O'Reilly, Kadioglu, Lamptey and Julio as well, but it looking like that is probably their strongest 11 looking at that team, barring maybe Matt O'Reilly in for Moda, maybe Kadioglu in for the Kuiper as well. Well, next stadium, Manchester City take on Brighton and Hove Albion. Big game for City as we do lead the league table, but we know that Arsenal and Liverpool are hot on our heels. Away from home at the side against Brighton, who play a certain style of football that has caused City problems in the past. But City intend to make up for poor performances here last season, a 2-1 defeat in the end, with a win against this side that I don't think are anywhere near the level they were last year. I mean, they've made signs and so on, but if we can keep Baleba quiet in that midfield, I think we'll be okay. Back heel through to Van der Sen. Off the heels of Phil Foden, that was poor by City, who make a meal of that one. Here's Danny Welbeck. Rutter. What a ball through towards Welbeck here. A switch of play to far post to Solly March, who smacks one into the stands. But that was a good chance to counter for Brighton. So lift into Phil Foden. That's a brilliant ball by the goalkeeper. The Kuiper's there. Foden nicks it. And back to Haaland. And Haaland hits one here. It's blocked away behind for a corner. Good play by James Trafford there. Really nice goalkeeping. The pass a little bit overhit, but look at that. Foden chases it. Takes it off the Kuiper. March. Well, again here, Solly March. Ait Nuri's pounced upon it, perhaps. And again, Ait Nuri. And through to Haaland, Ait Nuri. And through to Jeremy Doku as well. And Doku! Oh, what a finish by Doku. How about that for a goal? Pokes it to the top corner. That is spectacular from Jeremy Doku. And Pep Guardiola enjoyed that one. Ait Nuri worked so hard there. Through to Haaland, who lays it off to Doku. And then the finish. He just pokes it across for Bruggen. That reminds me of an Angel Di Maria strike from years ago for Manchester United, where he seemed to hit it with like a chip, powerful chip shot. That's what Doku just did there. Didn't try and bend it. Just poked it past the goalkeeper with power. Interesting finish from Jeremy Doku. 1-0 Manchester City lead at 6th place Brighton. Tajani Ryan is over this one, but it's going to be Omar Mamouche. This is Mamouche territory. Mamouche off the crossbar by Omar Mamouche. The guy is brilliant. Not the second time though. Doku, counter City, Doku. Mamouche. Foden. Haaland, what a touch that is. Haaland, oh, Webster gets a toe in. That ball. Van der Sen flying in for the challenges here. City lose possession again. Welbeck. Diaz slides in, cuts it out. Advantage play. Danny Welbeck is in. James Trafford will be called upon. He won't, because Danny Welbeck's put it wide. Just to really start the new season. It could be the second half of the season, unless Brighton punishes here. Beaten by Gruder by Vardiol. Foot in. Vardiol still. Gruder still. Vardiol fights. Vardiol clears. Massive bit defending by Joško Vardiol. Full-time win still goes. We end the episode with 3 wins from 3. Through to knockout stage of the Champions League and still top of that Premier League table. Please like the video already. Please do subscribe if you are new. And we'll see you next time.